I wasn't even sure I was going to pass the course. Imagine writing a course over and over and over.
That's
so
like 3 times,
three
right?
times. So what's even the guarantee that when you write it again, you're going to pass the course? At a point, I just met Ejimi, my fiancé. Then I was like, see, guy,
your husband.
husband now. I was like, guy, I'm not doing this thing again. Shay, you've already even told me that school is not that important. I'm not doing it again. And he looked at me, he was like, see, if you don't graduate, I'm not going to marry you.
Hey! It's great to be back on another episode of Crucial Conversations, the Strong Woman series. You met my guest already, and I'm sure you're looking forward to us unraveling this beautiful story together. By the time we're done, you're not only going to be blessed, you're going to be inspired, you're going to be challenged, and you're going to be ready to give the world a better version of you. Let's dig right into it. Okay, so finally we're here. And the day has come. And finally, it's good to have you on this couch. For
Thank you so much for having me, Pastor D.
So let me start by teasing you big time. Please. You're supposed to be an economist too. How did you go from studying economics to now turning... it's not cake. Let's say it. Let's break it down. Eggs, butter, kneading, fondant, and all. So talk to me. I just want us to go through how exactly did you move from here? No, from there to here.
Yeah. Okay, so Pastor D, from the beginning, I even actually wanted to read law, not economics. But then, after I told my parents about my desire to read law, they were like, no, law is not that, it's not the in thing, then do medicine. That was what my dad wanted. So he kept on saying, just read medicine and all. And then I now, just went with the flow. That was how I ended up in sciences.
Yes, so let me take you back a bit. Sciences. So
yes.
This science matter. So how, did you end up doing sciences?
Okay, true confession.
Confess.
So my best friend was the class rep then. And then our form tutor gave her the scripts to fill in the scripts on his behalf. And that was why she asked me, she was like, what do you want? Do you want
sciences? As in the results?
Yes.
For the junior?
Yes, when we're moving from JS3 to SS1. So our scripts were with her and she was to enter in our results. And so she was inflating the scores for those who wanted that. And she asked me, she was like, do you want it? I said, okay, so yes, really I don't mind. I was like, I don't mind. So I think she left to do something and I even added more scores on my maths and all the science subjects. So when I went home and I showed my dad my grades when the results were out, he was like, this one is science material. You can't do arts. I was like, no, I want to read arts. He said, no, just go to sciences. My form tutor too said, no, your science material.
And they didn't even suspect.
They didn't suspect at all.
Wow.
So
I think this is a high hope now for any teacher or any educator watching that some things we don't leave some things to students because they can always take advantage. They can fall for the temptation. So as only as you are, and you that you're supposed to be a good girl.
I just had to do it. Okay, I wasn't a good girl in secondary school. Okay. Okay, so that was how I started reading sciences. The first year, I failed physics, chemistry. It became a real struggle for me. Like, definitely something you inflated from just classes. You can't keep up. So it became a struggle for me. At a point, I wasn't taking my results home. When they ask me, where are your results? I'll be like, they're not giving it to me. Wow. Up until SS2, there was a day I just came to school and I saw my dad's car in school. That day I was so scared because I knew my dad had come to find the results. When I went home that day, my dad was like, I'm going to kill you today. He was like, you're going to go and repeat. You're going to start from SS1 again. I cried that day. I begged him. I was like, please just give me one more chance. And that was how I struggled and tried to just maintain my grades to graduate. Even WAEC was very difficult for me. I wasn't even around for chemistry class because there was no point. I knew I didn't know it.
You didn't bother?
I didn't bother because
you show up for the exam. Wow.
I remember my mom called me that day. She was like, the chemistry is taking place now. I was at home. There was no point. I just thought I know that I'm not going to pass this thing. So when I finished, there was nothing to read because I didn't do commerce. I didn't do arts. It was only my maths and English that I had. So,
but you at least still got the maths.
Yes, I was actually good with maths. It was just physics, chemistry. I just don't understand. It just didn't make sense to me. So after that, I wrote my JAM. The first year, I didn't get admission because my script got missing. I don't know why it got missing. No, I shan't know that. They wanted to do exam malpractice. They told us to drop money. I didn't drop money.
You had become a good girl by that time.
Yes. Not really, but so I felt I could pass it now. Why should I be dropping money for something that I felt I could pass? So I didn't drop money. I don't know if they threw my script away, but I know that I didn't find my results that year. So I waited 1 year at home. And it was in that 1 year at home that my cousin came to stay with us. He was reading economics. He was in his final year. He had an accident, so he needed to stay in my house to be going to write his exams. So one day we got talking. He was like, what do you want to read? I said, I don't know. I really don't know because I wanted to read law, but I don't even have the grades. And he was like, why not read econs? It's a very good course. And when you graduate with econs, you can do literally anything you want to do. So I was like, okay. So I filled for econs. When we wrote the exams, I passed. That was the second time I wrote JAM now, and I got admission. And as God will have it, that was the last year where econs department in ABU took people who didn't have commerce, all the commerce subjects. So it was like God just literally just helped me to get
before the gates closed.
Before the gates closed. So that was how I ended up reading economics.
So it was just a case of, okay, let me have a first degree.
Yes. It wasn't like I was really passionate about it.
How was your experience studying economics?
I started well, my grades were good.
It's older, you have
I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so it has always been like that for me. With school, I would go into a new class and I'll be very good though. With time, I'll just find out that I'm struggling. I remember it has always been like that, even from nursery school. I was one of the best. They gave me double promotion. By the time I got to the next class, it became a struggle. When I went to primary school too, the same thing. So university too, the first year was very good. All my friends were like, you're a guru. After the second year, it became a struggle. I started struggling with econs. I failed the course in my 200 level, and I kept on carrying over the course. I kept on writing, I kept on carrying over. And when it was time to graduate, that same one course was what was holding me back. And usually there was a policy that they will waive, but
if it's just one
course, they will waive it for you. But then they changed the HOD, and the new HOD said he was not going to waive that, we must write it. But then I was hoping they will waive it So I didn't write. I didn't register. So
For
I
the
had
next
yes
session,
for the
the
next
extra
yes
session.
because I thought they would waive it. So they didn't waive it. I had 1 year at home, and you can imagine I'm a lecturer's daughter staying at home.
Let's understand. So you were supposed to have an extra,
Yes,
but you didn't register for the
Yes.
extra year.
yes,
So by the time you realized it was too late.
yes. It was
So
too
you had
late.
to stay back
At
home
home.
and wait till when the next session was going to start. Oh my God.
Yes. So the questions, everybody, what are you still doing at home? You're not going to serve like everywhere. I got tired of that question. So by the next year, they brought in a new policy. They said, they were going to like waive the courses for everybody. Like it was called Let My People Go. But we're going to write exams. Shall we register and write exams? So I wrote the exams and then I finally passed.
So that's how eventually ABU let you go.
Yes.
But really, let's look at it. Those 2 years, did you feel like giving up? Like, let me not just bag this degree. Maybe I should just let go as in completely.
He said as a joke. Me, I thought that the HOD was joking, because I kept on going to his office. It was I and a friend of mine. There were other people, but this, my very good friend Anita, her name is going to be popping up a lot in this conversation. So we used to go and like try to talk to him. I thought he was going to, and because my dad was a lecturer too, I thought he would use his influence. But my dad just like, this guy is your issue. Better make sure you deal with it yourself.
How can a lecturer child not be smoking pots when it comes to group?
I'm telling you. I prayed about it. We said praying. I fasted about it. There's not, in fact, all the scriptures, ask and it shall be given unto you. I'm like, God, it's just one course. Can't this thing be waived? It wasn't waived though. So I got discouraged at a point because I wasn't even sure I was going to pass the course. Imagine writing a course over and over and over.
That's
so
like 3 times,
Three
right?
times. So what's even the guarantee that when you write it again, you're going to pass the course? At a point, I just met Ejimi, my fiance then. I was like, see, guy.
Your husband.
Husband now. I was like, guy, I'm not doing this thing again. Shay, you've already even told me that school is not that important. I'm not doing it again. And he looked at me, he was like, see, if you don't graduate, I'm not going to marry you. Hey! And that was how I knew I had to go back and write the course again.
So it was love that drove you.
It was love.
Is it love or man?
It was man.
Or man and love.
The moment he said that to me, my heart just sank. I'm like, guy, because of one course.
And since you have said book is not that whatever,
I don't
it's not
understand.
the end of the world, But you were able to write it,
Yes,
and then you were able to pass.
yes.
But it was a very challenging
It was a
season.
challenging
But did that
season.
begin to help you redefine yourself, rediscover yourself? Because it's very difficult when you are being told that you are not book smart.
Yes.
And I know that the woman that is seated before me is smart. So for you to have, an educationist as a parent, for you to have a very book smart, husband, because I think you mentioned to me that he finished as the best
graduating student.
You do a course 3 times and he's looking, and you have always struggled, academically.
Yeah.
What happened in that period? Was that the beginning of your redefinition?
Yes. Yes. For me, during that period, I realized that, yes, even though I wasn't good with remembering things I read, that I was more of a creative person and that I loved to use my hands a lot. So I feel that it happens with everybody. The moment people start seeing the parts you're good at and they start to like talk about it and begin to praise you, then you realize that, okay, even though I'm not good at this is another strength that I have, and then you begin to focus on that. So that 1 year was when I started baking. Like when me and Ejimi, when we talked about it, and he was like, see, I realized that school is not your thing, but you're good with baking. I'm a very logical person. Like I
not a
always
very
I tell
emotional.
myself I don't know book anywhere. Like so, my younger sister is very smart, very intelligent.
Wow.
Then when we come back from school, she'll bring her grade, her results, and my dad will be been insulting me and my other brother. Can't you see younger sister? I'm like, guy, I've tried my best. So I came to the
I
realization
cannot come and go and keep
early.
myself.
Yes, this is not my thing. This is not my thing. I'm a very pictorial, visual, like. It was even discussing with Ejimi that I came to realize that, okay, when it's videos, I can see a video and I can just remember everything that's in the video. But when I read, I can't remember what's in the book. And since the educational system is more of letters, I don't see in letters, I see in pictures. So as long as it's letters, it will be very difficult for me. So I just came to realize that this is who I am, and I'm very good with pictures more than with words. So let me focus on that. So that was when he was like, okay, so this is what you're good at, baking, cooking and all. So why not we enroll you in a catering school? And that was when the journey started.
So let me tease you. From graduate to you, now we're going to learn work.
Yes, ma'am.
Because that's how you have been seen.
Yes.
Like, you know, when you go and learn work.
Yes, sir.
You know? And that's how this baking journey started. Beautiful, but fantastic. Fantastic. And you've been able to do a very great, work with yourself, right? It's great to be back. It's great to be back on another episode of Crucial Conversations. You met my guest already, and I'm sure you're really... Should I take from the top? I should not, Abby? Thank you. But there are other people that do it. How do they do it?